So, hi, how are you? You're here with me, obviously. I'm Kurt Gudenbrunner, chef of Walse in the West Village here in New York City, and Café Zabarski, the Blue Goose, Blaue Gans in Tribeca, my wine bar next door, and Café Cristal in Soho, in the Swarovski jewelry crystallized stores. If you ask yourself if with all these restaurants that I still have time to cook, I'm going to show you right now that I still have time to cook. We are doing one of my favorite dishes. I think I did this dish a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and it happened because we had good cherries in the house. And so I had cherries in pastry, and we did a dish with a sauce béarnaise. And I took a spoon of the cherries and went over there, and there was a leftover piece of lobster hanging around there, and I dipped my sauce into the sauce béarnaise and the lobster, and all of a sudden I said, hey my God, this is great. We got to do this together. And so we sent it out to the next ticket we had coming into the kitchen, just to see if people are going to like it or not, and everybody went crazy for it. So we made it one of our classics, and we are doing a lobster with cherries, fava beans, and sauce béarnaise. If you look at it, they are very classic techniques, but I believe, my belief is that the classics are the base of creativity. So if you do not understand the classics, if you do not understand the basic of cooking, it's very, very hard and difficult to be creative. So that's where I get my inspiration for. So I dig into my classics, my Austrian background, my Austrian and German background, and then try to use these elements and make my interpretation of it. And so, how does it sound? It's like a song, It's a little bit Mozart, a little bit Lou Reed, and once in a while there's a little U2 in there too, right? So if you mix all this together, then you have my food. So let's go to what is the most important thing. The most important thing is the product. We can be creative, as much of creative we want. We just need to be focusing on the product. The product is the most important thing. So if you buy the best product, there's almost no chance that you can make a mistake. And if you make a mistake, then then just start all over again, but use the same kind of good product. Okay. We have Canadian lobsters here. Beautiful blue European lobsters that we can't get them here in the States, or very rarely. If you find them in Europe, just go for the expensive one. Just buy the best, right? Cherries. I have here these wonderful cherries. They're just phenomenal. You just basically you don't have to do a lot to these cherries, right? And see this? That's a cherry, huh? Fava beans. You see, I don't know how you call them in German, actually. Saubohne, I think, in German. Wonderful product. And I also want to tell you one thing, that I don't use, acid is very important in with food, but I don't use lemon juice or lime juice so much anymore. I switch to use vinegars, and I have good friends in Austria. They are making probably the most incredible vinegars and oils, and I use a lot of it. So I use from pumpkin seed oil to my newest things here. I have a red currant seed oil, and well, hazelnut, you know, that's a cherry vinegar, for example. That's a sweet wine vinegar. And more and more and more, I'm using these products to find the balance where I need acid in my food, and I'm using this very elegant vinegars to play around with, and not so much the citrus anymore. Okay, also in pastry, I love it in pastry, especially these oils. They are phenomenal. That's a raspberry seed oil. So just think about how many seeds you need to make this much oil. It's probably a couple tons of actual raspberries to get this much of oil. So you have to really, really treat it with respect. But find it in Vienna. Next time you go there, get a bottle. Okay, let's go and let's start. Huh?